Welcome back to the Sitake Show. Gunnar Romney. Good to see you again. How are you?
Good, how you doing?
Good. All right. I just mentioned that interview you gave. It was like day 1 or day 2 of camp. Remember that? The cameras were around you and you was like, I feel great.
Yeah.
And it was like the next day, right?
Mm-hmm.
Can you take us back to that week?
Yeah, it was a tough week for me. You know, one of the main reasons why I decided to come back to BYU was to play a full healthy season. You know, that it didn't go the way that I was expecting it to, but yeah, day 2 of fall camp, just routine catch, you know, dove for a ball, landed right on it.
Point of the ball? Was it the point? Or just
yeah, just regular. Yeah, just regular catch. Tucked the ball right there into my side, landed on it. Everything felt fine. You know, a little bit out of breath, but a couple hours later, got some excruciating pain, and you know, went to the hospital. They told me it was a lacerated kidney, and that was that.
So when you walk off the field after that catch, was it similar to anything you'd felt before?
Yeah. I actually tried going back in. It was towards the end of the practice, but I felt good enough, and you know, I went to line up, and Fessy, our receivers coach, is, you know what, you're good. There's only like 2-3 plays left. Just take it off. So it felt super normal. It just felt like I got the wind knocked out of me. It wasn't anything out of the ordinary.
And then symptoms started to hit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And then take us from there. What hospital next or what?
Yeah. Went to, you know, the trainer said, you know, I got this pain. You know, there's a little bit of bleeding right now. Said, you know, okay, we'll send you over, get some blood work done. Went to get the blood work done. Went to the labs, and the second they got it back was, all right, you need to go to the emergency room right now. So I went to the emergency room. They did the scans, did everything, and it was kind of a weird thing because we didn't know how long I was going to be in there. We didn't know what was going on. So we just pretty much had to stay in there, make sure the bleeding stopped, make sure everything was normal, and was in there for about a week before I came out.
Wow.
Yeah.
A week in the hospital with for landing on a football on a catch you've made 1,000,000 times.
Yeah.
Wow. Kalani, as you're being brought through the process and hearing about all this, what are you thinking?
Well, it just got like worse and worse every time I heard about it, and then I went to the hospital to visit Gunnar, and I was talking to him, and he seemed in good spirits, and he's just like, oh, I'll be ready for practice on Tuesday. And I'm like, I don't know. But I mean, he's convincing because the guy's a machine, you know. So I was just like trying to just show him support. And it just seems like he was always ready to go. And if it were up to him, he would have been on the field. But to see his recovery, how remarkable it's been for him to get better that quick. And it's also something that's just kind of, it's different. It's never been, his case is different than we haven't seen it, and there's nothing else out there to compare it to. And so I think the caution was just to make sure that we do it right and not put him in harm's way. And so it was kind of like a fluctuating thing. It was just, there's not one thing that was set. It was just, hey, it could change day to day, and that's why it took so long. And it was frustrating at the same time.
So correct me if I'm wrong here, but like there would probably be a couple of options here. We can go in and fix the laceration or let it heal naturally. Is that kind of the way it was?
Yeah. So that's a big reason why I was in the hospital for so long is, you know, they wanted to make sure that bleeding stopped. And that was the thing is, you know, we can go in there and we can, you know, try and seal it up right now, but that pretty much would have ended the season. That pretty much would have been it. And so I said, you know, let's wait a couple days. Let's see how it turns out. And luckily the doctors were all in with it, and, you know, everything turned out the way it was supposed to.
Then it was a process of getting cleared.
Yeah.
And that had to be a really frustrating injury because the rest of your outside body says, I can play football, but there's something inside saying not yet.
Yeah, it was extremely frustrating. Like Kalani said, there wasn't really a lot of cases to go off of. You know, we tried calling a bunch of different teams and, you know, even NFL teams, and it's a super rare injury. The only people we found that had a similar injury, you know, missed the entire season. That's not what I didn't want to hear. So we kind of just took it day by day, week by week, and hearing different doctors' opinions on what they thought was what it was going to be. But after about 2 weeks, my body felt great, everything felt great, but they told me, you know what, you're just going to have to stay patient. And so that's what was really frustrating about it.
So how happy were you to get cleared, and then how happy were you that A-Rod dialed you up for play 1 last Thursday night?
Yeah, I mean, you probably saw my emotion after that catch. It was unreal. I mean, I'm so stoked to be out there with the boys again, being on the field again.
And did you? Here's the play, there was an obvious outpouring of emotion once you made this catch, and you almost took it. I mean, if you guys had slapped your foot, you're probably gone.
Yeah, no, that was probably part of the emotion as well. It was just a frustration that it didn't break that tackle, but No, it was great to get started like that, and just fun to get back to it.
So how did the game itself? I mean, you made some catches. You had a few dives where you got to test things out. How did it feel all told?
Yeah, no, everything feels good. I felt normal. You know, it was first game back, so I was for sure out of shape. You know, especially after getting cleared and it being such a short week. And for sure was a little bit rusty after not doing anything, not playing in the last couple of games. But you know, it felt really good, and I'm excited to be able to continue playing it 100% now.
Did you think you should have hauled that one in? You said, I think after the game, you said, yeah, I probably should have had that
Yeah,
one.
no, 100%. That's a catch that I need to make, and I've made it plenty of times in the past. So it was frustrating for sure, especially after watching the film, seeing how catchable it was. But, you know, it's just something you just got to move on from.
Was any part of you thinking, I can't land on the ball? Or, I mean, were you a little bit worried that way?
No, to be honest, during the game, I didn't think about it at all. I think, you know, I did a pretty good job of, you know, compartmentalizing and not really worrying about that and playing confident. And so I really don't think it held me back at all during the game.
Okay, let's flash forward to Saturday night. You get to go back to Allegiant Stadium and play another game in an NFL venue against, Notre Dame. It's one of the biggest names in the game. How stoked are you?
Oh, it's a huge opportunity for this team. I'm super excited. They're a really talented team. You know, they maybe had a little bit of a rough start, but you know, they're a really great team, one of the most respected teams in college football, one of the most respected programs. And then that venue, you know, going down to Las Vegas and playing in Allegiant Stadium, it's a huge opportunity. I'm super excited personally. This is a big opportunity for me personally, you know, to go out and prove myself kind of at the beginning of my season. But, you know, this team is a special team, and so I'm excited to go see them perform on that big stage.
And hopefully this is another game in a string of games for Gunner, leading you to a successful season, Kalani.
Yeah, we're a better team when Gunner's on the field, and so that's his leadership, but also the playmaking ability. And he has this unique way of just going all out. You know, last year he got hurt by a running back falling into his legs, and the same injury struck again. But it's because Gunner doesn't care about himself. He just gets out there and does whatever he can for the team. That's why he's not going to be worried about landing on the ball. This guy is just mentally tough. He's ready to roll, and I'm glad he's in better shape now. And so looking forward to seeing him on the field and doing what he does best, and that's make plays for us.
All right.